In our last episode, we explored the lessons from Mesopotamia, Egypt, Greece, and Rome. But the story of human civilization stretches far beyond this second episode. We travel east to China, India, and later to the Islamic Golden Age, to uncover the wisdom that shaped the world for centuries. From China came the teachings of Confucius and Lao Tzu. They taught that harmony in society begins with discipline in the individual. Respect, family, values, and just leadership were at the heart of their civilization. China shows us that balance between people, nature, and authority is the key to stability and progress. In India, great texts like the Vedas, Upanishads, and the teachings of Buddha emerged. These civilizations taught that true strength comes not only from power, but from wisdom, meditation, and self-control. Mathematics, astronomy, and medicine flourished here, showing us that inner knowledge and outer progress can grow hand in hand. Between the 8th and 13th centuries, the Islamic world became the center of learning. Scholars in Baghdad, Cordoba, and Damascus preserved ancient knowledge and created new discoveries in mathematics, medicine, astronomy, and philosophy. They remind us that civilizations rise when they seek knowledge for all humanity, not just for themselves. The cradle of humanity was in Africa, but our species didn't stay there, for reasons both noble and ignoble. Humans spread out across the planet, each group seeding its own culture and identity into the vast tapestry of our species. Now, most historians will tell you that after the collapse of the Western Roman Empire, Europe fell into a so-called Dark Ages. Meanwhile, the birthplaces of many of the world's largest religions and philosophies were blossoming in Asia. Now let's explore these parts unknown. You may have heard the phrase, "May you live in interesting times." This curse is often attributed to Chinese philosophers, though no one knows for sure who said it first. Interestingly, if you look at the word interesting itself, it's derived from the Latin word inter, meaning between, and esse, meaning to be. So interestingly, means to be between states or conditions. A lot of things are interesting in this way. Look at your phone right now. What makes it interesting is that it's in a state of flux. It's between being turned off, which is boring, and turned on, which is engaging. Our brains love this space in between because it creates an environment of anticipation, of suspense, of surprise. And this is what keeps us holding onto that device for hours on end. But interesting times aren't always fun. Between the 4th century BC and the 2nd century AD, China was ruled by various kingdoms, some stronger than others. By 200 BC, a new power had risen. This empire would be remembered as the Han Dynasty. Its capital was Chang'an, now known as Xi'an. At its peak, Chang'an was the world's largest city. Historian Sima Qian described it as a place where riches and honor could be gained without limit, and where people from hundreds of nations gathered together in peace. But peace and progress can be fragile, especially when you're sandwiched between two hostile regions, like the Zhongnu to the north and the Zhongnu to the south. There were two ways the Chinese kings could respond to these threats. One was brute force, the other was diplomacy. We know which one the neighbors preferred. So to maintain peace and security, the Chinese emperors sought out someone special, someone who could excel in both warfare and statecraft, someone who could control the forces of disorder and usher in an age of harmony. Enter the philosopher-strategist Sun Wu. He was summoned by the Lord of Wu to turn the militarily weak state of Wu into a regional powerhouse. Wu accepted, and over 18 years, he trained and disciplined the troops, studied his enemies, and carefully forged alliances. Sun Wu succeeded in making Wu one of the most formidable states in China, and he did so with minimal warfare. After completing this task, he was asked to write down everything he had learned. That work, The Art of War, is still studied by military academies around the world. But Sun Wu was not a mere military genius. He understood that a truly harmonious society depends on many factors, including a strong economy, smart infrastructure, sound logistics, fiscal responsibility, social cohesion, and good governance. We see a similar principle at play in the life of Confucius. Born in 551 BC during a time of political upheaval, Confucius dedicated his life to cultivating good character and instilling a sense of duty and morality in everyone he met. His disciples took these teachings to heart and eventually formed schools that attracted students from all over China. As the disciples spread out, they established communities of scholars who kept the traditions of Confucius alive and well into the future. Centuries later, the Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu built on the teachings of Confucius. Like Confucius, Lao Tzu valued harmony, but he took an entirely different approach to achieving it. While Confucius focused on societal order and structure, Lao Tzu emphasized living in accordance with the natural order of the universe. This concept is central to Taoism, the religion that Lao Tzu founded. Lao Tzu argued that the best way to achieve harmony was to follow the Tao, or the Way, which is a set of universal principles that govern the natural world. Living in accordance with these principles meant accepting the natural order of things, embracing simplicity, and living a life of balance and moderation. Like Confucianism, Taoism offers a lens through which we can examine how to deal with conflicts. If conflict is seen as a disruption of the natural order, then resolving it means restoring that order. This doesn't mean being passive. In fact, it means taking action. The way to restore order is to act in accordance with the Tao. So just as a river flows around an obstacle, rather than breaking itself against it, we should adapt to changing circumstances rather than resist them. In Taoist philosophy, conflict resolution isn't about winning or losing, but about finding a solution that allows all parties to coexist harmoniously. This idea is captured in the famous quote, "Be content with what you have, rejoice in the way things are. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you." Confucianism, Taoism, and the military strategies of Sun Wu offer us powerful lenses for understanding our world. They teach us that true strength lies in balance and harmony, that progress depends on education and self-knowledge, and that conflicts are best resolved through understanding and compromise. As we move on to our next stop on this global journey, keep these lessons close. They'll serve us well. Around the same time that Confucianism and Taoism were emerging in China, ancient India was coming into its own as well. Ancient India refers to the civilization that developed on the Indian subcontinent between the 3rd century B.C. and the 5th century AD. During this period, India was home to several philosophical and religious traditions that profoundly impacted the course of human history. First, there were the Vedic texts. These texts, which include the Rigveda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, and Atharvaveda, are considered the oldest scriptures of Hinduism. They contain hymns, prayers, rituals, and philosophical insights that shaped the religious and cultural practices of Indian society. The Vedic period also saw the rise of the caste system, a social hierarchy that divided society into 4 main classes: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. The caste system had a profound impact on Indian society, and it persisted for centuries. As the Vedic period came to an end, a new philosophical school emerged. The Upanishads were a collection of texts that explored the nature of reality, the self, and the relationship between the individual and the universe. They introduced concepts such as karma, rebirth, and the idea of Brahman, the ultimate reality. Some of the most famous Upanishads include the Ishavasya Upanishad, the Kena Upanishad, and the Katha Upanishad. These teachings, however, were challenged by the arrival of a new teacher named Siddhartha Gautama, who would come to be known as the Buddha. Buddhist teachings, which are recorded in texts like the Dhammapada and the Vinaya-Pitaka, offered a different path to enlightenment. Unlike the Vedic and Upanishadic traditions, Buddhism did not rely on rituals or sacrifices. Instead, it emphasized personal experience, meditation, and the importance of compassion and detachment. The 4 Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path laid out by the Buddha remain cornerstones of Buddhist philosophy. This period also saw significant advancements in science, mathematics, and astronomy. Indian scholars made important contributions to fields such as medicine, algebra, and trigonometry. They also developed the decimal system and the concept of zero, which had a major impact on the development of mathematics. Ancient India offers us a glimpse into a civilization that grappled with profound questions about existence, suffering, and the nature of reality. It reminds us that wisdom and spirituality are essential for navigating life's challenges, and that compassion and understanding are fundamental to the human experience. As we journey further along the Silk Road of human history, our next stop takes us to the Middle East. Here we encounter a civilization that not only preserved ancient knowledge, but also made groundbreaking discoveries in various fields of study. The Islamic Golden Age refers to a period in history from the 8th century to the 13th century when Muslim scholars made significant contributions to science, mathematics, philosophy, and art. This era, which occurred during the Abbasid Caliphate, witnessed a flourishing of intellectual activity that profoundly impacted the world. One of the most significant contributions of the Islamic Golden Age was the preservation of ancient Greek and Roman texts. When Muslim scholars came into contact with these texts, they translated them into Arabic, ensuring that this knowledge did not get lost. This act of translation played a crucial role in transmitting classical knowledge to the West during the Renaissance. In addition to preserving ancient knowledge, Muslim scholars made groundbreaking discoveries in various fields. In mathematics, they developed sophisticated methods for calculating areas and volumes, and they made significant progress in algebra and geometry. The works of mathematicians like Al-Khwarizmi, whose name gave us the word algorithm, revolutionized the way we approach mathematical problems. Astronomy also saw remarkable advancements during this period. Muslim astronomers made accurate observations of the stars and planets, and they developed sophisticated instruments like the astrolabe to help navigate the skies. Their work helped to refine our understanding of the solar system and the universe as a whole. Medicine was another field where Muslims excelled. The works of physicians like Ibn Sina, whose book The Canon of Medicine was a standard medical text in both the East and the West for centuries, advanced our understanding of diseases and treatments. Muslim scholars also made significant contributions to optics, chemistry, and physics. They explored topics such as the nature of light, the properties of matter, and the laws of motion, laying the foundation for future scientific discoveries. Philosophy also flourished during the Islamic Golden Age. Muslim philosophers grappled with profound questions about the nature of reality, the existence of God, and the purpose of human life. Thinkers like Al-Ghazali and Ibn Sina made significant contributions to theology and metaphysics, influencing both Muslim and Western thought. The Islamic Golden Age serves as a testament to the power of curiosity, scholarship, and the pursuit of knowledge. It reminds us that civilizations rise when they seek knowledge for all humanity, not just for themselves, and it encourages us to embrace the diversity of cultures and perspectives that make our world so rich. Our journey through the cradles of human civilization has taken us from the banks of the Tigris and Euphrates to the shores of the Mediterranean and the heartland of Asia. We've seen how each region grappled with universal human concerns: war and peace, faith and doubt, order and chaos, yet each offered unique solutions, a testament to the diversity of human thought and experience. As we continue our exploration of world history in Episode 3, we'll journey into medieval Europe, the Renaissance and beyond, to uncover how the modern world was born. Until then, remember the lessons we've learned from the cradle of humanity. Embrace change, seek knowledge, practice forgiveness, cultivate virtue, respect nature, and value every individual. They are the threads that weave the rich tapestry of human history, and they hold the key to our collective progress.